You know what, Bob? I'm a little cheesed off.
What's bugging you?
Well, I'm glad you asked, because it's the NLCS. Game 1. You're playing the best team money can buy. The bases are loaded. Bottom of the 9th. Down by 1 run. You've been dreaming for this moment your entire life. You're batting. You happen to be 0 for 3 on the day, hitting $120 in the playoffs so far, but hey, this is a new at-bat. A slider comes biting inside, heading straight for your kneecaps, knowing that one of those kneecaps could mean a tie game. Do you jump out of the way, or do you take one for the team? Bob, the Brewers' Bryce Terang jumped out of the way. That's what's bugging me.
That's pretty miserable. Hey, Bob. Bob, I'm a little beard off. Oh, no. My beer's a little sour. And I don't like sour beers.
What's bugging you?
All right, thank you. I thought you'd never ask. So, Bob, where I live, I've got this tiny little private alleyway, because my houses are packed so close together, which we used to say was a bad thing, but now we say is a good thing because, density's good or whatever. But anyway, point is, that little alleyway for a long time was the only way that a lot of people could access their homes. And so they would drive down it like super, super fast. The worst offenders, though, were the people who didn't live there. The people in their delivery trucks. Back then it was UPS, FedEx, the Pony Express. Now it's the Amazon drivers. So to fix this issue, we put a speed bump on our private driveway, even though none of us really wanted it there because we all hate speed bumps. But we were like, look, we need this to slow these idiots in their big blue trucks down. Or brown or red and white or whatever. And now, 15 years later, the only people who slow down for that speed bump are the people that live here. The people in their stupid big trucks, they just blaze over them at 50 miles an hour still, putting all of our lives in danger. And that, Bob, is how I felt about the Milwaukee Brewers, a useless, stupid speed bump.
Welcome to Giant Cocktails, where the baseball is mid, but the cocktails are elite. Here are your hosts, Ben and Matthew Henry.
Welcome to episode 335 of Giant Cocktails. Ben, Hall of Famer Amos Russi had 335 singles as a pitcher/outfielder for the New York Giants from 1889 to 1898. And yes, I had to go back that far to find the number 335.
Weren't they called the Gothams then? Like, what was it? They were like they were the New Amsterdam clog knockers. Back then, right?
Well,
wasn't that what their name was?
And Amos Russi was the stud of the team. As a pitcher, he won 234 games for the Stod Knockers and was the first Giant to lead the league in Ks and innings pitched, which Logan Webb just did this past season. So there was a tie-in. I did it. Booyah.
Also, Matthew, did you know that the Shad Clotters, they wore purple uniforms?
Yes.
Yeah, and that's why
I did know that. That's why we have
those
connects. Awful unis now. Yeah.
Wow, I did not know that, Matthew.
Well, and you go back and look at old Amos, man, and he won the Triple Crown in good old 1894 when he was 36-13 with a 2.78 ERA. He had 3 shutouts. He led the league in strikeouts with 195, and he led the league in walks with 200.
Wow. I'm not even sure that game qualifies as the same sport. But hey, here's to Amos, Hall of Famer, pioneer, legend. He looked really great in purple. Way to go, Amos.
Enough with the banter. Let's talk cocktails.
Yeah. All right, let's talk cocktails, Bob.
What are you drinking, Matthew?
Bob, I'm drinking an original rum punch because I'm throwing a Halloween party on Saturday, and I thought it needed some punch. It needed a punch. So I'm naming my punch the Gotham Grog, and I'll tell you all about it at the end of the episode.
What are you drinking, Ben?
Well, thank you for asking, Bob. That's very kind of you. Matthew, is that named after Grog from Vox Machina?
No.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, it should be.
Okay.
Bob, I am drinking a cocktail that Matthew named the Gimletarita. And why is it called that? Well, because of its ingredients, some of which were picked fresh yesterday from a tree by one of the people who I play Dungeons and Dragons with. So thank you, Greg, for the lovely limes. I mean, it's secret ingredient. And that's what I'm drinking today, Bob. You'll find out what's in it exactly. It's definitely not limes at the end of the show.
Well, I think you're going to give shout outs for getting citrus from friends. I have a big old tree of limes. I'll hook you up.
Wait, are you fishing for a shout out on the show?
I don't get enough. I don't get enough.
You're a guest on? I think I say your name about 20 times every show.
Fair. Okay, forget the limes. All right. Anyway, today is Sunday, October 19th, as we record this podcast. The Giants were still 0-0 this past week because once again, folks, they did not make the playoffs.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah. But what are we going to talk about today? Well, we're not going to talk about the playoffs.
We're not going to talk about the playoffs?
No, because, Bryce Terang just jumped out of the way.
That's true. But what about the other guys? There's a whole other series, man.
No, I don't care if a certain Herculean baseball player had the greatest postseason game of all time. I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, we're not talking about that guy. I don't know what you're talking about.
But that's the playoffs, man. That's what happened in the playoffs this week. I don't want to talk about it.
There's two other teams. I know one of them plays in a fantasy land where they have fake, like all the businesses are fake. Like, have you ever been to Canada, dude? Like, you get off the airplane there, or you just drive around town, and it's like you're on a movie set. Like, there's all these things that look like brands, but none of them are real. It's like, look at that fake bank over there with that fake bank brand.
It's got like a maple leaf on it.
Yeah, and they've got the McDonald's over there are called like Tim Hortons or something, but it's also their Starbucks, but it's also their Dunkin' Donuts. I don't know. It's very confusing. Anyway, allegedly those people have a baseball team, and that team might win. They just forced a Game 7 against the Big Dumper.
Yes, the Big Dumper and the Mariners, who have a real coffee shop in their hometown.
Just one. Just one. There's only one.
Just one. There's only one that you talk about. That's for sure.
If you think about it, they're all they're all just connected to each other. So it's just really one giant. The whole city's one giant coffee shop.
Exactly. It's like the fungi that live underneath a tree. It kind of just keeps everything alive.
That's right. The single largest organism in the United States, I believe, is a single fungi. His name is Ben.
But I was trying to find a joke. You beat me to it. All right. Well, what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about Tony Vitello.
Who is that?
Future Giants manager?
Wait, what?
Question mark? Possibly.
No, that's the college guy that you brought up in the last episode to sound, I don't know, chic or cool or something. What?
Hey, some of us know things. Okay, some of us do our research.
Some of us have a life and play D&D and drink.
Yeah, well, some of us read Andrew Beggarly. And but anyway,
look at me, I'm a
we're
rich
going to
guy.
talk about him because all of a sudden he's like, he's the guy, and so we're going to talk a little about him. But first, Ben, we need to talk about Gold Gloves.
Ooh, Patrick Bailey talk. All right.
Not just Patrick Bailey talk.
What?
Logan Webb talk.
What?
Let's face it, Patrick Bailey is going to win a platinum glove
Okay, that's true. That's true. I'll give you that.
Okay, so we don't need to talk about that because he's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
What I didn't know was how awesome Logan Webb was. Like, as you put it in a text to me, that was not a think I was thinking.
I read that back and I was like, usually I have a typo at least once, one sentence every text message I send to you.
Yes, you
and
do.
because I'm
Yes,
an
you do.
old man, I do send sentences in my text messages. It's not just 3 emojis and then no punctuation. Like I punctuate my messages. And I usually have a typo every sentence. And I looked at that one and I was like, no, I'm not going to fix that one because I like that better. That was a think that I had never I'd thought.
Yeah, and so I don't. That didn't seem like a typo to me. It seemed like something that you would say, and I agree with you. It was not a think I was thinking.
That is
I
right.
wasn't, and Logan Webb apparently had a really good defensive year. And if you look at the metrics, which other people have, I haven't. Apparently, he's very deserving of a Gold Glove nomination. Will he win it? I have no idea. How do they even rate pitchers and their abilities to field and be defensive? I know that holding runners on is something I think that they take into consideration.
Mm-hmm.
He did a much better job this year than ever. Striking out people, I'm hoping that's part of it because then he's got a real shot.
I don't think it should be because I think that's just part of your pitching. That's Cy Young. I don't think they should overlap.
Okay, but then I did read that he led the league in ground ball double plays started.
That's pretty good. Yeah, like that he caught the ball and then threw it out. And that's like, honestly, I think like that seems like a really hard thing for me. Okay. Like let's give the guy who ended the Phillies season a little bit of a break. Okay. Like the fact that like people are like, oh, he dropped the ball on the comebacker. And I'm like, okay, you catch a ball that's hit right back to you after you've just thrown it. Okay. And then he freaked out a little bit and he should have thrown the ball to first.
Yeah,
got it.
There was 2 outs,
But
yes.
but the throw was just a bad throw.
But let's face it. Anytime a pitcher fields a ball and throws it to any base but home, don't you in the back of your mind feel like that ball's going to get overthrown?
Oh, I definitely, and especially when I always cringe when they try to start the double play.
Yes, because there is no way they're throwing it right at the bag.
And and it's just so much outfield out there. And you just know, it's going to cost us at least a run if he doesn't make this throw. At least. And so it's terrifying. And so the fact that Logan did that successfully more than anybody else, but also had the highest defensive run saved, and I think they should just give him the award right now. I don't know why we're doing this whole like, we have to have like finalists. I don't know what that's all about.
Well, I think it would be a good consolation prize for not getting the Cy Young.
Yeah, which he won't get, of course, because because
that guy's dating the gymnast.
Okay, why are you always about the gymnast? Okay, what about her?
Because
why do you keep bringing her
that's
up,
all I hear
Matthew?
about whenever I hear Paul Skeens. Like, oh, he's dating this woman. I can't even remember her name now. But something.
It's Liv Tyler, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
No, it's
Anyway.
it's Faye Dunaway. It's Livy Dunn.
That's it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Glad we solved that problem. Okay.
I think that's
Anyway, let's hope that Logan Webb brings home the gold. Because, one of the cool parts about that is that when he starts a game and they show the defensive alignment, they'll put a little gold glove next to his name every time.
Oh, that's right. They will do that. That'd be fun.
It would be fun.
Well, yeah. Go Logan.
Yeah. Matt Chapman did not get nominated for a Gold Glove, and he kind of missed a large chunk of the season. So.
Yeah, he was hurt a lot, twice, and I wasn't surprised to not see his name there.
Yeah,
not at all.
Okay, enough with the chit chat. Let's talk Tony Vitello. Ben, the only reason that we are talking about Tony Vitello is because Nick Hundley said no to Buster Posey.
I feel like Nick's one of those guys who doesn't know how to say no until he's at the point where if he doesn't say no, he's going to have to do the thing. Because, like, how many times has this guy interviewed for manager jobs and then not taken them?
At least twice.
Yeah, like maybe he doesn't want to be a manager, or maybe, yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting because I think I heard somebody say maybe it was Pavlovich or somebody say, or maybe I heard multiple people say it, but they're like, generally speaking, when you fire a manager, you have a good idea of what you want to do, right?
Right.
And I'm sure Buster, at least the very least, had a good idea of the kind of person that he was looking for. But he was also in the back of his mind like, I want to hire Hundley. And then that doesn't work out, and now you're just like, oh, wow, okay, wow. Now I gotta ask this
search.
other girl.
Now I gotta actually
and
look
like,
for people.
what am I gonna
interview others?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure that it had something to do with Nick Hundley's wife. Like, I think she was like, dude, I sat around watching you travel all your baseball playing career. That's done. You're staying home with me and the girls.
That's it. Your life is over.
I don't know, life. He's got a pretty good life as it is. And frankly, being a manager of a Major League Baseball team might be a step down from what he's got going on. But so I don't necessarily blame him, but yeah, maybe he should have said no right off the bat.
I don't know, Matthew. I mean, that's some people's dream job. So like,
and then you get fired from it. Right,
Bob?
Bob?
I bet there's a lot of people listening to this show right now who would take the job. You would not be a good choice person listening to the show. I don't care. Like, whatever you think.
I disagree. I think at least one of you would be an excellent manager.
I bet you one of you would be.
You know who you
it's
are.
It's probably one of you that aren't even considering it as a possibility. Unlike me. Who would be a
one of you going,
choice.
oh man, that'd be terrible. But in fact, you'd be really good.
Did you just say I would be really good?
I'm talking to the person who's
out there. You're talking to the listener. Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not you. Right. You would not be good.
That makes sense. Yeah, so anyway. So Hundley said no.
Hundley said no. So now Buster's got to go and look for somebody else. And all of a sudden, there was a lot of smoke around Tony Vitello.
Wow. There's still a lot of smoke. There's still no flames.
There's still no flames. There's a lot of smoke though.
Yeah,
and so we're going to talk to it as if there is a fire.
But we need we need the smoke to turn orange and then a habeas manager. Managerum. Habeas managerum.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought you said. What does that mean?
It's like habeas popum. Like after they, where do they get the convocation, and then they do the thing that the smoke.
Oh,
the white
that's
smoke.
Right. Yes. Okay. That's
yes, I am equating the manager job
illusion.
for the San Francisco Giants to being Pope. Yes, I did that. Okay. That's but the smoke is orange, not white.
May God be with you. All right.
Or have mercy on your soul.
Two Catholic boys who were reformed. Anyway, there was an interesting article in The Athletic by Andrew Baggerly that basically kind of spelled out the what's going on in Vitello world. And Andrew Baggerly basically said that Vitello made a very strong impression, which he tends to do. I don't know him personally, but apparently he's got a really outgoing, big personality. And that has served him well.
Wow, that doesn't rarely serves me well.
That's not true.
I just don't use it.
That's right. You don't use it enough in the right way.
That's right.
You don't use your
in the right way. See, there you go. That's what I meant. Yeah. Use it in the wrong way. Yeah, but he's got a big personality. Yeah. Well, I mean, he's been successful. Right? He took a program which, when I read all the articles, Matthew, apparently there was no baseball program at Division I level that was worse than the Tennessee Volunteers. Apparently, they were the worst baseball team on the planet. They were the laughing stock of the big SC 25 or whatever.
Yes, whatever.
What do they call those? A congregation they were a part of.
Which is amazing because you and I attended a Division I school that I'm sure would be one of those teams that would be battling for that last spot. Don't you think?
I think our whole league does not qualify, Matthew.
Oh, okay.
Right. Especially the school that we went to, which was generally one of the bottom three of that league in every sport, including the
Lou
ones
Gehrig, though,
that
man.
we
Lou Gehrig. We got Lou Gehrig. Give us that. He didn't graduate, but we got him anyway. I think it's interesting, though, that we're bringing in, allegedly, a manager that was the same guy that basically turned Drew Gilbert loose on the world.
I thought that was his parents, but okay.
No.
He let him flip those bats and stare at those umpires and get thrown out of the game mid at bat. Yeah.
Well, and I think that obviously that's a culture that was created or allowed under Vitello, that bat flipping in your face kind of attitude. And I just wonder, like, that's an interesting take on your next manager of the San Francisco Giants. Certainly not a Bob Melvin type.
No, it's not. But like, I don't know. I mean, this is our argument that we had off the show, and I'm not sure that's the reason why Vitello was considered, is the bat flipping and the Drew Gilbertness of the players.
No, but it's part of him. Like, you can't just be like, that's not something he brings to the table.
Sure. Here's the thing, Matthew. This isn't a done deal yet. Like, nobody's signed anything yet. I think right now the bean counters for the Giants are arguing with his agent. I think that's what's happening right now.
I also wonder if the bean counters at Tennessee are wondering how much more they could pay Vitello.
Oh, they're making a counteroffer. Yeah, maybe. They're making a counteroffer.
They're already paying him $3 million. What's another $1 million or $2 million, right? I mean, they're going to their boosters. They're saying, hey, somebody can pony up some money so we can pay Tony. Yeah. That's how it works now in the AC-25.
Right. Okay, so just for those of you who don't know, Vitello right now is getting paid $3 million a year, which would it means he's getting paid better than many major league managers right now.
Most major league managers, yeah.
So, and on top of that, though, so the Giants would have to pay him more than that, right? Like you think about that, like. Maybe you think, oh, well, he would take the job because it's a manager, it's an MLB job versus a Division I job. But here's the thing, like a coach or manager at the college level probably isn't even thinking about the majors because this never happens. He's getting $3 million a year, and he's probably very happy with that. In order to leave that organization where he's been very successful and he's adored, he's going to need to get paid more. He basically has a job
for life there. He's got a job for life.
Yeah.
He'll have a statue with his name out there in 20 years. It'll be like the office will be Emeritus Tony Vitello, like, office.
Right.
I mean, his name will be everywhere, on the field, in the stands. Like, that's his path.
Right. And in order to break his contract, he needs to pay the Volunteers $3 million more. So basically, he needs to give back all of his salary from last season. So obviously, the Giants are going to have to make good on that as well. So we're talking about a big contract and a lot to work out here. And yeah, the Volunteers are probably going to want to come back and make an offer that's competitive. And so this could turn into a situation. So there's a very good chance that this all turns into nothing because he stays a Volunteer.
Well, you say that, though, but now that his name is out there and everybody knows that he's the one, the Giants have to close this deal. You don't want to go to a guy who's like their third choice of manager and say, oh, well, you manage our team.
Yeah, I think it's pretty likely that his agent leaked this. Like, I don't know, right? But like, I don't see anybody in the Giants organization leaking this. Honestly, I think one of the biggest sources of the leaks was Buster Posey for Baggerly. That's my theory. Yeah. That's my theory, that Baggerly's source was Posey. But now I just don't see anybody who knew leaking this, especially with the details that they got. So I feel like that this came out is probably from Vitello's side. And that is probably to get the Giants to like make an offer where they blow the Volunteers out of the water, because that's probably who they're bidding against.
Yeah.
So yeah. I think that makes sense.
Well,
go ahead.
No, go ahead. Oh, well, I was just saying one last thing in the Baggerly article was that there's a Max Scherzer connection.
Huh?
They played together in college, and they're still good friends. And Baggerly made the connection that the Giants are in need of pitching. And Scherzer has turned back the clock this postseason with the Blue Jays and maybe would be a good fit to come in and be like that fourth or fifth starter, a la, the old guys that we've had the last couple of years.
Max Scherzer, but isn't Vitello like 47? How old is Max?
He's 42, I think, or something like that.
I'm looking. He's 40. He's 40. I don't know how old Vitello is.
Oh, you know what? They weren't teammates. Vitello was an assistant coach when Scherzer was there.
Okay.
They weren't
okay.
teammates.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Because, but they know each other.
But and you bring in a guy like Scherzer, and he's obviously future Hall of Famer. You got a guy that's backing the manager like that, then maybe that helps smooth over, the new guy.
Hang on. I got to go see how many wins Max Scherzer has. I just want to see if he's anywhere close to 300. I'm just for reasons. Just for reasons, okay? I just got to go check to see, because if Scherzer signs a 1-year deal and all this, I just got no particular reason.
Okay.
This isn't anything to do with anything. Oh, good. It's only 221. It's strikeouts. No. Nowhere. No. He's nowhere any Okay. Yeah. No, that's fine. Yeah, I'll take a Scherzer. I'll take a flyer on Scherzer. Sure. I don't know that I want Tony Vitello just so that we get Max Scherzer though. I'm not, nah. There
was that connection.
Oh, good. We could get our number 6 starter if we get this manager. No. I'm not saying I don't like Vitello though, but I will say this. This is weird, dude. This is weird. This is unprecedented. Some might say
unprecedented. And we talked about this last week. That he has no professional baseball experience.
I want to commend
whatsoever.
you for that, by the way, because you were like, let's talk about this Tony Vitello guy, and I was like, he's a college guy. That's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to go anywhere. They're gonna get that Jekyll Hyde guy if Hundley doesn't want it, or they're gonna it's gonna be Kai Correa or something. It's not gonna be some guy from colleges. But I was like, all right, fine, you talk about it, and then boom, here it is. He's getting hired. You were right.
I was right. You've been saying that a lot lately.
Yeah.
I'm getting used to it.
I've been drinking earlier in the show than I usually do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's
what's been happening. I usually don't start my cocktail until Bob asks me what I'm drinking. But recently I've been starting before we start recording. And so that's why you've been right more often.
Okay. Yeah. Well, with this unprecedented move, Ben, what message does this type of hire send to the team? I think when I'm thinking about it, it's Buster Posey is basically saying that he doesn't give a fire truck about what others think or do.
Yeah.
And they're going to do whatever it takes to win. And he doesn't care about convention or what other people are doing. And I think that trickles down to the team, right? Like we're not going to do the same thing that we've always been doing. We're going to do things differently. Do you think that kind of message resonates with the team?
Yes, I do. I think that it means that they're going to do whatever it takes to win. I don't know that because I know historically a lot of people have strong feelings. Here's the thing, though. Major League Baseball, I think more than any other sport, is so tied to the past. They just, for whatever reason, they just can't make changes, right? That's why they had their first female umpire this year, right, in 2025. Like every other sport has been doing this for a long time with their refs. But like the NFL, they're just whatever. The NBA, whatever.
The NBA is even.
But Major League Baseball is oh wow! It turns out, hey Bob, did you know that women have eyeballs?
Yes.
Yeah. Right. See, Bob knew. My point is that baseball is just so antiquated, and it's just we just don't do that. We don't hire people from college. Well, why not? Because we don't. You wouldn't understand. Hey, look at that kid Billy Bean. He's really got that good baseball face. That means he can hit. That's what baseball is like. They just don't do the new thing. So, I like this in that regard. I don't think a lot of the players out there are particularly going to care. It's not like they're hiring an accountant. They're hiring a baseball guy. So yeah, I think this probably does send a positive message to the players. I do think that some of them might be concerned about something that you mentioned earlier, which was it's a college guy and he's going to bring college stuff. But we're going to get into that later. My question...
I think we can get it.
What?
Oh, no, go ahead. No,
my question for you is what kind of message does this send to the fans?
I think most fans they think like Bob. Bob, what do you think about Buster?
I'd trust Buster with my life.
Exactly. And I think a lot of fans trust Buster with their managerial search. And I think that I know, and I'm speaking as a fan myself, I'm like, if this is what Buster thinks is good for the team, then yes, go ahead and do it. Because why not? Do something different. Zig when everyone zags. Try something new. And I guarantee it that if Vitello is successful, then the next 4 or 5 managerial hires will be from the college ranks.
Yeah, it's gonna turn into a whole flood. And a lot of people have been trying to work their way up through the ranks into Major League Baseball are going to be pretty pissed off. But I agree. Like, I think this is one of those blocks that was just a block for no reason. So that and as far as it goes of trusting Buster, I trusted Buster when he flew that helicopter from the supermarket parking lot to Oracle at the Oracle.
He actually flew it. In my mind, there was a pilot, but it was him.
No, there was no pilot. It was just Buster.
Nice.
Flying the helicopter with his face on it.
So you trusted Buster with your life, too?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I figured there was a pilot, too. But then we get in, and he's like, hop in. And he's like, don't grab this thing. And then I was like, what? And then, and they said, put on the helmet. I can't hear what you're saying. And then next thing you know, he's like, here we go. And I'm like, oh, you're the pilot.
Folks, this is, if you missed like the last episode or two, this is what happens when you miss.
Yeah, you got to listen to every episode, people. This is not like a sitcom where you can just pop in whenever you want. Like, we have ongoing storylines on this show. Like, you got to stay with the plot. Like, if you really want to get the full Giant Cocktails experience, you got to go all the way back to our first episode.
Please don't.
Yeah, you got to listen to all 335. It's like it is to get the full experience.
I think you get away with starting with the new season.
Yeah, I think you could probably just go to the first one we did in October. but anyway.
Well, anyway, Ben, so let's get into this whole college thing, okay? Because when I think college, I think of like the rah-rah, like Giants. I mean, college, like just shouting at kids and getting them all pumped and all that. And on the football side, there have been coaches that have come from the college ranks that often don't do well because of that amateur versus professional. Although now most college athletes at that level are professional.
They've always been professional, Matthew. They just weren't being paid.
Yes.
It was always a swindle, dude. It was always
now they're getting
openly
paid, Ben. Now they're getting openly paid. And but my point is, do you think that it could cause a little bit of an issue coming from the college ranks with some of the veteran guys?
I mean, what? Why? No. Like, what? I mean, so I don't know that I understand the argument here. I think the argument is that you're saying is that as a college coach, he's totally like his reputation, at least at Tennessee, has been like Drew Gilbert. Every player's like Drew Gilbert, and we're all going to be rah-rah, and we're all going to like be crazy, and we're all going to flip our bats and put eye black, all the way from our eyeballs to our belly buttons, right? And that's the kind of coach that he is. And he's like screaming in everybody's face and then giving them like super hard ass slaps. Like, and that's just what his personality is like.
Whoa, I didn't even think about the ass slaps.
Okay. Well, so first of all, like, I would just argue maybe this is a man who just knows how to motivate people and meet them where they're at. Right? Like, it's possible. It's possible that he's good at managing 18 to 22-year-olds and getting them excited and getting them motivated. But I don't think that's at all why he was hired. Like, I don't think he was hired or at least offered the job because he's good at ass slaps. I think he was hired because he's a great motivator. And I don't think he's been successful because he's good at ass slaps. I think he's been successful because he's good at strategy. He's good at skill building. He's good at recruiting, which, by the way, he has to do a lot. So, this is a guy who's good at making baseball players better. And he's good at working with what he's got, which is not everybody who plays for him is a professional level player, right? He's got guys that are on scholarship, and he's got guys who are walk-ons, right? And he's good at making all of them better at baseball. I think that's why he was hired. The thing is, maybe he's only maybe he does only know how to give ass slaps and expects everybody to have eye black from their eyeballs to their belly buttons. And I just don't know. I agree with you that I don't know that that's what Matt Chapman wants. I don't know that that's what Jung Hoo Lee expects. Mm-hmm. I don't know. But at the same time, I don't think that's the kind of guy that Buster Posey was. So my hope is that he knows how to motivate the kind of players that he has. And so you let Drew Gilbert be Drew Gilbert. But you also let, Matt Chapman be Matt Chapman. And I got to tell you, there were a lot of times when I saw Matt Chapman and Drew Gilbert interacting in the dugout, and I think Matt Chapman rolled his eyes every time he stepped away from Gilbert.
He was also choking him and being the centerpiece.
Yeah,
of
the choking
stuff,
him thing, and then as I would end, he just had this kind of wry, I can't believe this is happening. So I don't think that that's why Vitello was hired. I hope and believe that he is the kind of guy who meets you where you are and meets you at what you need. And 18 to 22-year-old men need different things than 25-year-old to 35 to... No, sorry. How old is 82-year-old men like Justin Verlander?
Yes. All right. No, I guess that makes sense. I think I as I sit here, I just wonder... usually when managers are hired, they bring in their guys, right? Yeah.
No, I'm worried about that too.
So yeah, do all of a sudden we got a bunch of guys that are been straight out of college coaching for the majors, or is there going to be some kind of amalgam of a staff put together? I imagine the amalgam, right? He can't just bring his own staff.
No, that's an excellent question, and that could be a problem. Because look, I believe that you could take somebody from the college level and they could be successful at the major league level without ever going through the professional path. I think that requirement is bogus. On the other hand, I don't believe that you could take the hitting coach, the bench coach, the first base coach, the third base coach, the strength guy, the defensive coordinator, all of those guys from the college level and bring them to the major league level and expect them all to be at that level. In fact, I would be surprised that you could do that. So I don't think there's any way that Vitello can bring a significant portion of his guys. Maybe one or two.
I also wonder, and I don't know how this works, but I wonder if the University of Tennessee would want those coaches to stay.
No,
they're elevating their best guy to head coach and all that. Maybe that's on the table as well.
I think if he decides to go, I think the Tennessee Vols just start throwing money around. They try to keep as many of those people as they possibly can. Who knows, right? Who knows what they decide to do? But they might go to the heir apparent there and throw tons of money at him. And then he's in a situation where he's like, do I follow Vitello to the major leagues? Or do I take this really cushy job that I didn't at all imagine I would be having an opportunity to get right now?
He's taking the cushy
job. I would think so. So
speaking of cushy jobs, though, Ben, there's a bench coach position that needs to be filled, and the name that Baggerly threw out and that I've heard is one Jace Tingler. Now they were college teammates. That's where I was getting it mixed up with Scherzer. Jace Tingler, your favorite Padres manager, could be the next bench coach of the San Francisco Giants. How do you feel about that?
What are you doing, Andrew? Like, did you hear this from the Giants? That is an awful idea, Andrew. That is like the worst. Jace Tingler. This is like the worst. No, okay. Look. I like the new age stuff, Matthew. I like the new guys. Okay, like I like the focus on analytics. I like the focus, but that guy. No, that guy was like, I'm so smart. Let me just like the thing that he put the most thought into every day was like what his sweatshirt looked like. That guy was the worst. No.
I think I remember you calling him the Tingler.
The Tingler. Like, what I remember is every time the Tingler went up against Dave Roberts made him look like a child. Jace Tingler was one of the worst managers I have ever seen do it. His players didn't respect him. He couldn't manage a game to save his life. Like, no.
Calm down, Ben.
I'm not going to calm down. Just no. No Tingler. Buster, you pull that Tingler out of our... Stop tingling me. I don't want to be tingled anymore. Bob, no Tingler. I don't want it. No Tingler. Bob, no more Tingler. I can't take it. No Jace Tingler. No.
All right. I think we'll end there.
No.
Our talk about the next manager of the Giants, Tony Vitello.
Oh, God, I can just see it. We're playing the Dodgers, and there's a pivotal moment, and Tingler's whispering into Vitello's ear. Oh, God. And Dave is just like, oh.
Isn't it time for the booze, boys?
Oh.
Yes, it's time for the booze, Bob, because Ben needs a drink.
What are you drinking, Matthew?
Bob, I'm drinking the Gotham Grog. And it follows the traditional rum punch or punch template, which was 1 part sour, 2 parts sweet, 3 parts strong, 4 parts weak. Not exactly, because, you got to do a little changing. But for the most part, it's got 1/2 ounce of lime juice, 1 ounce of spiced Demerara syrup, which just means putting some cinnamon and cloves in there. 1 3/4 ounces of a rum blend. My blend has 1 ounce of Planteray 3 Stars, 1/2 ounce of Appleton Estate Signature, and 1/4 ounce of Planteray Xayamaca. Ooh. To give it a little bit of funk. You may not like the funk. You could leave that out, but I really like the Xayamaca.
Just make it all Xayamaca.
You want hair on your chest, put the Xayamaca on there. 1.5 ounces of pineapple juice, 1 ounce of pomegranate juice, 1 ounce of hibiscus tea, strong, like 2 bags for every 1 cup.
It's not a tea, it's a flower.
And 2 to 3 dashes of Peychaud's bitters. And you put all those into a bowl and stick it in the fridge for like 2 to 3 hours. Well, if you were making you could plus this into a batched cocktail. But I guess if you're just making it for yourself, put it in a glass, throw in some ice cubes, give it a little stir, and then you're good to go. And if you want to, you can garnish it with a little bit of freshly grated nutmeg to kind of round it out. And that's what I'm drinking, Bob, the Gotham Grog.
That's a tasty cocktail.
Yeah, I'm liking it.
What are you drinking, Ben?
Thank you for asking, Bob. That's very kind of you. Bob, I am drinking a cocktail that Matthew called the Gimletarita. And why is it called the Gimletarita? Because it's halfway between a gimlet and a margarita. That's why. And why those 2 cocktails? Well, because my friend Greg gave me these homegrown limes, which were amazing because, boy, they really tasted like limes. And I know you're thinking, well, all limes taste like limes, Ben, by definition. And I'm like, no, these limes were better. And they tasted a little bit like fingerling limes, you know. But they were a little bit shaped. They were a little oblong shaped. So I don't know. They were not like traditional limes. But anyway, they were very good. And so yeah, so I used those. I was like, should I make a margarita? Should I make a gimlet? I couldn't decide, so I made both. So how do you make it? Well, you take 1.5 ounces of London dry gin, 1/2 ounce of Cointreau or your favorite orange liqueur, such as Grand Marnier or a triple sec. Then I took 3/4 of an ounce of my lime juice, squeezed from the fresh limes picked by Greg. Yours could be picked by somebody else. And then 3/4 of an ounce of simple syrup. I put all of those ingredients to a shaker with ice. I shake them until chilled, and then I double strain them into a stemmed cocktail glass, and I garnish that with a lime wheel. And it was amazing. But it was mostly amazing because of the fresh picked limes. They were really good. And that's what I'm drinking today, Bob. The Gimletarita. And that's a wrap. Thank you for joining us. We will be back next Monday when we will be discussing the signing of Tony Vitello or the failure of Buster Posey to get his manager and being on to his third choice. And if we get that far, folks, it will be a story. If you can't wait that long, though, to get your fix, feel free to reach out to us on the social medias. You can find us at all of the places that you can find giant cocktails, except Mastodon, where we do not monitor. If you really want to talk to Ben, you can leave a comment on Spotify, where I check at least every 2 weeks. I checked last week, which means I haven't checked this week. So if you commented recently, I don't know about it. You can also like, subscribe, and comment over at YouTube. But most importantly, be sure to leave us a positive review on Apple Podcasts or the Telloify.
Ben, breaking news.
Breaking news.
We have a new review on Apple
I
Podcasts.
thought you were going to say Rocco Baldelli has been hired as the Giants manager.
No.
Okay. Wait, breaking news. New review. Matthew, go.
Jenna A, with a little smiley emoticon.
Wow, this sounds good. She's really going to roast us right now, but she's so happy about it.
The title is My Favorite Podcast.
Whoa, is?
Says, I am really sad that the Giants season is over because as much as I love my team, I also love listening to this podcast twice a week. You guys are so funny and always have great insight on the game. I learn something new from you guys all the time. I walk around campus with my AirPods and listening to this podcast, and I'm giggling and laughing to myself. I probably look crazy. Thank you guys for giving me something to look forward to, even when the Giants can't seem to win a game. Can't wait for next season.
Campus. You know, Matthew, there's a 75% chance that this listener is not legal when it comes to consuming cocktails.
She's not in it for the cocktails, man. She's in it for the Giants.
Wow. All right. Well, I mean, unless by campus she means
Apple.
Yeah,
Campus?
there you go. Yeah. I was like,
Don't
I don't
those
know what
guys
else has
like have a campus?
Corporations
and, like,
have campuses.
Google
Thank you,
has the
Matthew.
campus and
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Angela.
Jenna.
That's what I said. Roberta.
Jenna.
That's what I said. Jennifer.
Just wrap it up.
Oh, right. Hey, Matthew, it was great talking San Francisco Giants with you. Until next time, cheers, my friend. And I apologize, Jenna. I knew it was Jenna all along.
Cheers, Ben. Bye, everybody. And Jenna.
Angie?
Thank you for listening to the Giant Cocktails Podcast. Until next time, bottoms up.
I know how Tony Vitello is going to get fired.
Oh shit! You're already. This is the future.
Everybody gets fired, man. Everybody gets.
No, you're right. He's gonna get fired. You are right.
He's going to get run out of town by the hooligans when Drew Gilbert is our starting day center fielder.
Oh, right. So, wow, that's going to have to happen immediately, though.
Yeah, he'll last like one day. It'll be like, after the opening day.
Going to last one day because the hooligans will run him out of town because Drew Gilbert will be playing center field.
Yes.
And JHL's going to be on the bench.
Yes. This is.
I mean, it's a lot of money to spend on a fourth outfielder. I will grant you that. But, well, you know what? Sometimes the hooligans are wrong, Matthew. Sometimes the hooligans are wrong, but they still get their way. Wow, he'll be the manager with the shortest tenure ever. Well, that's a bold prediction, but it's not outside of the realm of possibility. I can see it happening. Two crazed ideas clashing together. Sometimes you get chocolate and peanut butter. Sometimes you get color balls and amalgamation.
You know what, Bob? What's the phrase again? Cheese and me? What?
I'm a little cheesed off.
Okay.